Good afternoon and welcome. Always a pleasure to be with you on Radio Tunis International. Faisal Hilali on audio engineering, Rim Travelsi on live streaming, Hayet Toukabri in the studio for this daily edition. And we have the pleasure to have with us here in the studio Mme Wahida Jaiet. She is chargée de mission auprès du Ministère du Tourisme, and she will talk to us today about this important event that took place from the 16th to the 18th of May in Gafsa, and it is a promotion campaign for the region of Gafsa. So our topic today is about tourism, as tourism offers great opportunities, especially for emerging countries and emerging economies and developing countries. And it creates jobs, it strengthens the local economy, it contributes to local infrastructure development, and can also help to conserve the natural environment and cultural assets and traditions and reduce poverty and inequality. So in this context, an event was held, as I said, from the 16th to the 18th of May, and Ms. Wahida Jaiet will tell us a little bit more about it to give us, first of all, the background information about this event, what triggered the holding of such an event in Gafsa. Welcome.
Thank you for the invitation.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you for having us, and good afternoon. As you rightly said, it's good to know in which context was born these days reserved to Gafsa. So we have to bear in mind, first of all, that this initiative finds its root in the public policy, which is clearly put forward at the high level of the state, and which aims essentially and basically at regional development and social equity. These are two essential bases and principles on the basis of which the rest will evolve.
Right.
So for us, and as tourism sector, as you rightly said a moment ago, it contributes to social and economic development, it provides jobs, it is a source of income, and it is a way to reduce discrepancy at times between regions or communities. So sector, the tourism as a sector is by far an essential sector of development. And for us, Ministry of Tourism, we gave the priority to regional branding and sustainable development.
Right.
So the initiative, again, is really in line with the code of conduct and the policy that we are implementing and pertaining to our national strategy. So actually, part of the policy for the Minister of Tourism, Mr. Soufiane Tqaya, is to visit the regions and talks, obviously, with officials, but also with the people, all the stakeholders. So during his last visit on December 2024 in Gafsa, and following a set of discussions and some good ideas emerged, and the minister decided to organize an event. So the definition of the event, the 3 days, what would be the component, etc., that was discussed for days and days, and some committees were actually set up, 8 committees, regional committees, involving absolutely all kinds of people, from representatives of the districts, the municipalities officials, the different representatives of various departments and ministries like cultural affairs, like environment, the state, the private sector, the experts, the academicians, the historians. That was absolutely tremendous, because for the first time you had people around the table discussing a common vision. So the vision, to make it clear, is to develop and transform Gafsa with its 13 districts. That's very important. When I say Gafsa, I'm not talking about Gafsa Medina. I am talking about the governorate as a whole. Absolutely. Right. So everyone is concerned with this project, with this event, and will with a follow-up that hopefully we will be implementing.
So the regional committees, they were all about Gafsa. Because when you said regional committees, I maybe understood the rest of the country.
No, regional country
devoted to Gafsa
is absolutely the locals. Let's put it clear.
Okay.
So it's the locals, but when I speak of Gafsa under the umbrella of the governor of Gafsa, we of course involve the 13 districts. It's important to know that they are part of the project as a whole.
That's right.
So the idea was, how are we going to develop tourism? We all agree that tourism is essential. There are some tremendous assets in the region that we need to deter. Some have to be just enhanced, others just need some practical things to, be able to get promoted and to market them via the private sector, name of which is the travel agencies.
Right.
So they all convened that there should be a roadmap. But before that, we need to focus on 3 major topics. And that's how, during 5 months, full months, people
wow.
were discussing in the committees, along with the central committee that was put forward by the Minister of Tourism. So there was a constant back and fro, if you want, ideas and coordination between the 2 poles, let's put it this way, so that we came up with the establishment of this 3-day event. So this is important to highlight the fact that this is a consensus around what should be Gafsa like in hopefully a mid or longer term, a full destination of its own,
right,
involving all 13 delegations, highlighting all the natural, tangible and intangible heritage. And make people really, get the benefit from the industry of tourism and travel, both at the level of the nation, in domestic policy, and obviously at international level. So this is a very ambitious program.
Right.
But we've tried to be practical. So we focus on 3 major topics. Number A, first of all, is the studies. Number 2, workshop, was on the investment. And number 3 is on the how to enhance the tangible and intelligible heritage. So
right.
basically, cultural, intangible and tangible heritage, how to invest, what is entrepreneurship, how to help young people in particular, to how to pave the way for them to get the finance and understand how it works. And obviously there were the circuits, and I will tell you in a while why circuits were devoted. We devoted a special workshop for this.
So the 3 days were just to set the tone, for a whole program, for a vision for the region and what needs to be done, because 3 days as a promotion is a promotion campaign, only to give maybe a pre-taste.
To be honest with you, the purpose is not promotion. We are not there yet. There are days, as to outline the acronym, the hashtag are days for tourism and handicrafts in Gafsa. And the purpose of the workshops, the 3 workshops that were held day 17 and 13, as first day was plenary session with introduction of a vision of what could be Gafsa like in the future. Right, by expert, eminent, academics were there. And so we had the vision. As I said, what we want at the end of the day, everyone share this ambitious to position really Gafsa as a destination of its own. But don't forget that there is always the background that I introduced in the beginning, which is aiming as well for more social equity and for a real sustainable development. Why tourism? Because it's an awful lot of treasure and marvels in this region. I was particularly impressed by the vast assets that the region could have, and I will tell you what the workshops have deterred precisely.
Okay. So we start with the workshops?
Yes. So number 1 was knowing, as I said, that Gafsa is full of assets, full of potentialities. The idea was, how are we going to enhance the tangible and intangible heritage? What shall we do? And like everything, there are always some quick wins and some things that you can develop on a mid-term basis and others that will take more time. And I must tell you that before even we started workshop, I told you that for 5 months people were working very hard. Our minister has led 3 major actions which really gave some kind of revival and hope to the community. Number A is the coming back of the famous and iconic red lizards. That the famous train. After 8 years of total absence, we had the chance to experiment the comeback and leave this crucial moment of the red lizard. The second thing, as you know, Gafsa in the Medina, they have this iconic Roman basin. That basin was
Roman
filled
pools.
in. Oulad al-Bay is something very dear to the community.
Right.
And hopefully it was filled back for the greatest, pleasure and joy of every single citizen, the young people in particular. Right?
Because they use it.
Absolutely, because they use it. And it's a major attraction around which there will be an ecosystem to be developed.
Right.
The other thing that was decided by His Excellency Mr. Sofiane Tqaya was the decision, as you know, Gafsa is now a tourism municipality.
Mm-hmm.
Why is this very relevant? Because every municipality labeled as such is going to be allocated a fund, and this budget will be serving the environment. Actually, the fund is called environment protection in tourist zones.
Mm-hmm.
So each time you come up with the status of tourism municipality, you are given some budget on the basis of a program, obviously,
right.
and you can embellish, proceed to some kind of works like signage, like lighting, like decoration, but it all has to do with, and cleaning as well, which is a major focal point, an issue as well. So all this is going to help the community of that district to work on environment, and when environment is improved, obviously this is going to help the promotion of your product.
That's right.
And give
and
it more attractivity.
Tourists.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So it's important to point out, these 4 major actions that were taken within a very short period of time. And of course, I would like to thank the Ministry of Transport, without which this wouldn't have been
because they took care of the red lizard.
They made it possible.
Lézard, that's right.
After the request and pushing, Minister, I think that this is a very nice, illustration of mutual effort between the ministries to come up with the coming back of the red lizard. So let me get back now to the workshop. Number 1, enhance tangible and intangible heritage. So among the, I must say again that what was the most not only impressive, but the greatest thing I personally found, because I was there during the whole period, is the presence of youngsters.
That's
so
interesting.
That means there is enthusiasm.
They care about the region.
Not only they care, they have so many smart ideas. They are full of projects, of dreams, and I think for the first time, when you have the elder with the youngsters, with authorities, with rep from the district, with everyone around the table to share, to discuss openly and sincerely what could be done on a certain basis. And I think, as I said, these little things, they are great. They are little, maybe smart actions.
But they can make the difference.
But they made the difference.
That's
and you
right.
could see that because we went on the spot and we saw how people were enthusiastic.
Yeah, it's
so
a
we
whole
want
synergy.
to navigate on these good vibes, you know?
Wonderful.
So among the various recommendations of the workshop, so we discussed what were the assets. Obviously, you have the handicrafts, as you know. Handicraft is major component, and I think this is a very important axe to be developed.
Especially weaving and pottery in Gafsa.
Pottery, and among those we identified some major core products like or items which are well known but not sufficiently. Well known for some and not really enough for others, which are the klim, the bakhnoug, the mtabga. These are just examples of core products that need to be protected in terms of authenticity, otherwise other countries, other people would, make it theirs. So protect authenticity, their history, our ancestral technique and savoir-faire. These need absolutely to be registered at the intellectual property in OP. And then hopefully some studies will be made to submit this to UNESCO, right? But as you know, UNESCO take more times. But in the meantime, we do what we can do today, right? So
a lot
as
of
I
work
said,
needs to be done in order to
exactly short-term things, mid-term actions,
and long-term.
and the vision is there and the goals are there.
Right.
every project that is put in place, and that's very important, should contribute to the development, should have an economic and social impact on the community itself first.
Right.
And then we make the circle bigger and bigger.
Right.
Right? This is very important. Unfortunately, we don't know. We know there is a lot in the regions, but we need to organize all these things. So the idea, and one of the recommendations, a major one, is to conduct a study in the 13 delegation of the Gafsa governorate to identify all the possible components that could be, whether tangible or intangible, again, in coordination with the National Heritage Institute,
Right.
because we need to give it a scientific
Certainly.
basis,
Backing,
a
right.
backing, absolutely, with the stakeholders, because everyone has to be involved. One of the big issue, or the biggest issue maybe of tourism, is the fact that it is transversal. So it involves so many other departments, ministries, and so on. So we need to work in coordination. So
Right.
this time it did work out to come up with a 3-day event. We need to continue on the same track. That's very important. So here again, municipalities, ministries, civil society, rep of districts pertaining to the governorate, all together with one major aim is deterring, organizing, listing all the components of the 13 delegations.
And how long will that take?
It will take some time, but we have always priorities, as we said.
And there is like a steering committee for this?
There will be a steering committee at the moment, and I'll come back to that. We are in a process underway of assessing the output,
Right.
all the recommendations to make, to prioritize some actions, to elaborate our plan of actions, and to decide who is doing what, and to understand how it's gonna work.
That's right.
Where, how, with whom, bearing in mind that we have the support as well of the European Union. They were partner, and it's nice to, it's an opportunity to salute their support as well.
Okay.
So once all these districts have come up with a list, which is supported by the National Heritage Institute. Obviously, among the list, we will pick up the one which are really ripe for
implementation.
Marketing, see whether these projects, there need to be some dialectic between the components. The Young People's Project, we are developing a database of projects to encourage all the young people. They need to support, they need to be
involved.
Grassroots projects. That's
Right.
what we believe in.
Yeah.
But our role as ministry and as state and as authorities, if you want, is to facilitate, to back the young people by bringing, making access to information much easier, by mentoring, by providing vocational training.
That's right.
By,
Support.
yeah,
Support
by
of all
accompanying
kinds.
absolutely all the way through, before, during, and after the project. They need to make sure that it is efficient and sustainable.
Right.
Right? So our youngsters are very smart. They have ideas, but they need mentoring, and this is one of the recommendations.
And guidance,
So you
of
see,
course.
it's intertwined. I mean,
Yeah, certainly.
yeah, you can work. I'm going to give you an example. The Klim, for example, the Mergoum, the Bakhnoug, the Mtabga, right? We know these are core products, but is there enough visibility abroad? Do people really know the story? Do they
Behind.
know the background of
Yeah.
every single carpet? No, we don't. So one of the things is to enhance every single product. So there are some quick wins. We identified already 3 major components from handicrafts, which are related to weaving. So we have, as I said, the Klim, the Bakhnoug. These are the 2 core products that we will start with these ones, and the rest will follow.
Right.
So this is just as an example.
Tremendous history behind them.
Absolutely.
The Klim and the Bakhnoug. Especially the
Absolutely.
Bakhnoug and the different colors and the
Absolutely.
weaving.
And the
it's a
storytelling,
whole
these
story
women
behind that.
working
That's
from
right.
mother to daughters and mother to daughters for ages, they need to tell stories around that, and it's part of
The story of a lifetime. Right.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
it's part of their own story
That's
and
right.
heritage. So we will obviously integrate. There is a great recommendation regarding also paving the way for enhancing and being aware really of all these great assets all over the region is by integrating culture and heritage in national educational program. I think that our young daughters and sons, they need to know how big, how tremendous, how great is the heritage. So this will be done at all ages.
And it's directly related to the notion of patriotism as well.
Absolutely. They need to know who they are.
That's
they need
right.
to know their story.
To be proud of their country.
Absolutely.
And of what we have. It's a beautiful country which is full of assets, that we have to really know better.
That's why we want also to create a department of the caption era, which is very much unknown to so many of our younger, but also sometimes others, they may
which
not
is
know.
About 4,000 or 7,000 years
it's
before Christ.
8,000 years.
8,000 years old.
Scientists would even venture
dated
to
back
say
to
more.
9,000,
So we need to have a full department, and this is part of a recommendation, and that it's more in a quick win thing. We need to make the story, obviously with experts, and then this will be a department probably integrated in the Eco Museum that is looked forward to. So this is made basically about the intangible and tangible heritage enhancement. Obviously there will be more conferences, there will be some events that will be in the roadmap that is going to be elaborated, and at the festivals they will have a better communication plan, both regionally, nationally and abroad, because we need to make people know that Gafsa is not only a place, a stopover, but it's a place that even for the moment you can spend like a couple of days. Right,
and
enjoy so many activities,
seeing
outdoor
around,
activities, and that's why the circuit were pointed out as a major action to be led, because they are close to. They can be more easily marketed and sold.
So there is the circuit of Les Arts Rouges.
Three
of
major,
them, and
among
then
so
the
many
old
others,
Medina.
right? Exactly, we have the Gafsa Medina with its iconic basin,
Roman
its old houses,
pools, right?
Exactly, with its old architectural houses, which are now, thanks to the new specificity work and specification that is underway, which hopefully in a very short time will be approved at higher level. It's okay with the ministry. It's been a long-term effort between private and public sector. So this is going to make much easier the project for either restoring the old houses and transforming them in a kind of boutique hotel or hotel de charme or camping or motels, all these types of alternative accommodation system is now included in the specification work and text. So hopefully this will help our future investors. And the second one is Thelja mountain with the comeback of the red lizard, as I said, and there is the whole story of tens and tens of families around the mining. So maybe in midterm we will have a museum, why not? And the third circuit is El Qtar El Sned, well known for their caves. These mountain and oases are absolutely terrific. So great, stupendous beauty, really. They have, around these we can develop the ecotourism, some outdoor activities. So there will be some quick wins around these El Qtar, El Sned, in particular in these two delegations. So as you can see, if you may allow me, these circuits, they pertain already to 5 different delegations. So as I said, it's important to notice that and point out that we always think globally in terms of development, sustainable development, but we think locally when it comes to products, because we want to respect the full heritage of every single community. We want to preserve the specificities of every community, every single delegation, district. Well,
I mean, from this, these beautiful things that you have talked about here and about the hard work that you have been doing over months. So there is an action plan now. How long will it take, for example, to come up with like a detailed program of the promotion, of the touristic promotion of the region of Gafsa?
Okay. Obviously, some of the actions will take some substantial time. It goes, that makes sense. But as I said, this is the
short-term
action
ones,
plan.
maybe.
There will be some quick wins, and I identified some of them, which are the circuits.
The circuits,
because
right.
They need to, by the way, it's very important to know that we've been very pragmatic and active, because some expert, in March of these workshops, we had group of experts experiencing these 3
circuits.
circuits.
So they will be implemented immediately. I mean, if anyone now goes to Gafsa, he can experiment the Les Rouges, for instance.
Les Rouges, that was the first time we came back with this traffic of the Les Rouges with only 2 or 3 wagons, I think. But it's longer than that. So for the time being, the journey is not as long as the previous one. But the idea is to restore the traffic, to come back to revive the lizard, this red lizard, which was done. But what I want to say about the circuit in, for example, Qatar, El Sned, or in Gafsa, or in Thilja, these 3 group of experts from academics to our officials, representatives, they all experience, and each of them has given his own assessment of the circuit during the workshops, the final workshop dedicated to these circuits, to tell us what needs to be done in a very short term. Okay, what do they require? Is it signage? Okay, let's do it. Is it lightning? We'll do it. That's much easier to do than, for example, a museum, because museum,
of course,
you know what I mean? So these are quick wins projects. Likewise, the 3 identified core handicraft products. 2 of them, we know the Klim, we know the Bahnoug. Lots of people have written, and even some doctorate, even some youngsters make doctorate about.
A lot
so
of
we need
research
to compile
has been done
this,
about that. Yes.
and to first of all make sure that they are protected by NRP. Right. So this is the first thing to be done, and it's a quick win. I spoke about the municipalities, right? This is also a quick win, because as long as they present the program, they will be allocated the funds.
The funds, right.
And I'm talking about 2025.
Yeah.
So these are the second edition of these days.
These days, when will it be?
That's decided. We will discuss the when, but we need time to, as I said, assess, elaborate the action plan,
right,
in a coordination with the regional committee, with the local authorities, because some of the actions, they appeal to authorities only, others are a mix. So we want to make sure that every single action is meaningful and makes sense,
right,
and is realistically like a smart project, as we call smart thing that we can assess
I remember, for instance, for the region of Sned and El Gtar, I remember that there used to be a festival which is called the Festival National des Grottes, Montagneuses du Sud. And it's, unfortunately, it is a festival that stopped, I think, during the pandemic or something like that. And we hope that this kind of festival will be back, because it offers great opportunities, for the region.
Absolutely. As I told you, Sned and El Gtar are already enjoying the status of tourist municipalities.
Right.
So they will be allocated the fund for the environmental aspect and issues.
Right. Without forgetting the very famous...
now.
Yes.
The promotional component, which is the festival, for example, in that case in El Sned, we participated this year to Sned Festival, we as Ministry of Tourism, through the fund that is called FODEC, which is a support to promotional activities that have direct impact on tourism activity. So we participated. There was a program presented by SNET, and we supported them. So we will do the same with Ilktar, with Thelja. Each time there is a way to promote, they propose and we encourage and we support. This is the idea.
Yeah,
right?
that's good.
So another quick win is the festival of the pistachios.
Pistachios, of course.
Right?
Ilktar, very famous for that.
Exactly. So we want to, along with the Ministry of Culture Affairs, which were very supportive as well, we worked together in this wonderful adventure. We are going to sit together and make not a joint program, but make sure that there is to enlarge the scope of our events. Let's see, if you have a festival, then I can do something ahead or the day after, so that people, I can market this so that people and visitors, when they come, for example, to SNAD, they will be able to stop over 1 or 2 nights and enjoy more than just the festival solely. So the idea is make it bigger.
Yeah, that's
as big
right.
as we can to start with.
Of course, with the direct impact on the community.
And
of course.
our role as ministry, and obviously through the Tunisian National Tourism Office, we will make sure that the communication that it deserves will be there, and whether this is at the national level, because we have our role to play as well, but also at international level, make people aware that there are lots of things happening there as well.
That's right.
Meanwhile, we have to develop the accommodation, the restaurants, the infrastructure, and this is something, we are aware of the challenges.
And even the circuits as well, make them safe, make them
enjoyable,
make them agreeable, for
safe.
the...
You're right.
For the people who are going to visit, who are going to spend time there. So they should be really so attractive that, it makes me want to come back.
Absolutely,
right.
We would like to not
only want to come back, but also
itself.
Include other people and invite other people to come as well.
Absolutely, we want to make every single experience something of its own. If we need to make it like an immersive experience, using AI, using technologies, and young people are so good with that.
So
they can help us for sure to enhance the program, the quality of the experience. Actually,
if I ask you, for instance, what's your favorite thing about the destination of Gafsa?
Wow, I am so many. I love nature and I love handicrafts.
Right.
So I think I will definitely go there again to find out, about the best Klim, Bakhnouk, the traditional, I'm very fond of traditions,
Right.
So if I can live an experience, of a wedding, this is something we want to put. And I would like to see one of the young people, maybe we can think of a
simulation
show with traditional costumes of the 13 delegations. Could be something in the program.
Right.
Because TAG, as I say, edition 2 is there. So it will be costumes.
Right.
It will be the carpets. Food, we tasted. We had a wonderful taste of some of the iconic recipes there. I ate too much bread, but it's so nice. The mtabga is just fantastic.
Mtabga is just irresistible.
And nature too. I went to the caves in Sned.
Right.
During the festival. So I had the afternoon, full of music, and I could venture myself with some of my colleagues into the caves and explore the surroundings, which are absolutely of stunning beauty.
Right. So what unique experience or experiences can travelers, for example, find there? Some of the unique experiences you talked maybe about the troglodyte houses, in El-Mukhtar, for example. So what other maybe unique experiences people can experience when they go to Gafsa?
Spending a couple of days outdoor in a camping site at the feet of the mountains, eating local food, dressing like locals, sharing some experiences, some special moments with local communities, interacting with these people, will make every single experience unique. Because there are as many experiences, to my mind, as there are places, as there are people.
Yeah.
Every single person you meet can tell you the story of their family, of their tradition,
of their way of life,
of their ancestors, whether it's part of the coal heritage, whether it's the caption. I met some people who were talking, I was just impressed, talking about the caption era. I say, oh my God, we are that great.
And the Amazigh culture.
And the Amazigh culture as well. Actually, there are so many things that can be deterred there that it wouldn't be just one. It wouldn't be fair to tell you this.
Right.
There's so much to do. There's so much we can enhance, and I am very confident that with the support of the goodwill and the support of the local authorities and all stakeholders around, these young people can take Gafsa to a further step.
What about, for example, the training of tourist guides, for instance, in order to highlight all these treasures?
You know,
it is one of the recommendations.
There are gonna be some for the young people, because the bulk of the work, hopefully in the future, will be, held by the young people.
That's right.
So our role is to simplify the procedures, and we started, with Maison d'Hôte, as I said, with the specification. Compilation of alternative accommodation. We want to simplify, as I said, the procedure. We want to set up a digital investment window, kind of guichet unique, so that everyone who is willing to carry out a project, who has just ideas, can be accompanied. We have to support to provide clear guidance about the procedures, about the mechanisms of financement. And by the way, we had some bankers among the participants and the moderators. It's very important. We had really people of high quality who were telling us what were the mechanisms that could be suggested to the young people. Some are put in place already, but people don't know. They don't have access. So the idea is collect all this within the same platform
and make it accessible.
Obviously, with digitalization, things would go much further. So the guichet unique, this digital investment window, is a key and major recommendation. The data of a bank of projects, lots of projects, we need to compile all this, and it's much easier then to reunite and to put
maybe
into contact the banker with the promoter or the entrepreneur to come. Right. This is a very important thing to be done. The vocational training, for example, for the guides, for the future circuit, there's not only these three, but it's also in the field of handicrafts. One of the things that was pointed out during the workshops, and despite the fact that DMO in that region can be, the Destination Management Organization can be more easily paved the way for, because there is already a good dynamic and dialectic in the handicraft sector there. So they can be the first component of a larger tourist DMO. Right?
First trigger.
Because they are well organized, as you know.
Yes.
So there is the cluster.
They already exist
Tunisia.
in several regions.
We have a hub design in which the workshops took place, and so it's tremendous. I mean, we have already some people who are dedicated and they are ready to train the youngsters. But we wanted to make it at higher level, and we want to make as well a annual or biannual conference on weaving industry pertaining to the region. And then we can invite, all the experts, whether locally, nationally, but also why not from outside. So the idea is to match the vocational training with the core products, those which are already mature, and which are already sold,
Right.
others which are still in the pipeline, and the other to come that will be deterred from and revealed by the study I talked about it at first place.
And maybe create local labels or brands as well,
Yeah.
pertaining to the region, like for the, I don't know, for the Mergoum, for instance.
Yes,
For the,
absolutely. We also had a very interesting, by the way, presentation and about the certification and labelization,
right.
the branding, the label of these core products, and the others to come, as I said, those which are in the pipeline. I think they are essential to protect the authenticity of every product, the savoir-faire, the region, and also it adds to the quality and value of the thing.
Certainly.
If you take the primitive, what is called the primitive potteries, for example,
Yeah.
or the klim, or the bakhnoug, or the mergoum, all these, they are sometimes sold at very cheap prices. Once they are labeled, it's done.
Of
You
course.
can multiply by 10, 100 and export. And quality imposes itself. So it will be a Tunisian label and the whole process
Right.
is clear, which
Right.
has to identify, give priority, make clear what are the priorities and submit and start.
Right.
And it's already underway, by the way, by the Tunisian National Handicraft
A lot of work
Agency.
is ahead.
Yeah, absolutely.
A lot of work.
But we are confident, you know why? Because we feel that people believe really that this adventure is not just words, but something is really going to happen, and it started.
Right.
As I say, small actions but big impact.
But big steps as well. Among maybe
Hopefully.
the prospects, I mean, to further promote the destination of Gafsa, any prospects of reopening the airport?
Right,
Gafsa
obviously,
Airport?
if we want to speak of international visitors,
Right.
although we are not expecting mass tourism, just make it clear, Gafsa with its 13 delegations, they are perfect for niche.
Yeah.
So ecotourism, outdoor activities, for term cures as well. This is one product that we can very easily go ahead with. Absolutely, there is already a very good example, but more to come hopefully. Handicraft. So these are 4 major components on which we can really develop a lot of circuits and have an interesting source market. But the airport is already in the pipeline in terms of a must think.
Right. But at a long term,
But I don't want to say long term because the infrastructure, that's
let's be more positive.
that's massive work. But I am sure from what my minister said, and that this is something we are seriously taking into account. And if we consider that the Ministry of Transport is very much supportive of tourism industry and made a very good step forward with the rehabilitation of the red lizard, we are very confident that
And hopeful.
and we hopefully we will come to it in a midterm.
Right.
Hopefully.
After DMO in Gafsa, any prospects for other regions? A DMO for any other region?
2 things in the prospect, and we are quite confident and assertive. The DMO in Gafsa is halfway because as I said, the handicraft is organized.
Right.
Tourism will catch up. So this is something we can do in a quite short term. Regarding the next DMOs and the next event, just in the light of what happened in Gafsa, the days for
Right.
tourism and handicrafts, my minister has already made a visit to Kasrin. They inaugurated the hub for handicrafts. So there are good signs that the next event for similar to the Stag will be Kasrin and El Kef. So let's say that in a short term, El Kef and Kasrin,
And
they will be
Kasrin.
our 2 next big events.
That's
and
wonderful.
hopefully demos, let's make it step by step.
That's
but
right.
Hopefully it is in the list, in the pipeline of next not even not visit, because even the minister already visited last Sunday El Kef, and this week he, as I said, paid a visit to Gasterin. So clearly these two are next ones.
Well, there is a lot of bravery in what you are doing to promote the new let's say, way of doing tourism, this maybe alternative, this cultural, this eco type of tourism, which is really the one we need, the one that goes to the community, the one that leaves an impact on the community. Because, I mean, whether we like it or not, tourism, as we said earlier, is really a very important, asset in our country, in our economy, and so many sectors are involved in tourism. So to make it sustainable, we really have to work hard.
Definitely. So after Ta'ala Gafsa,
that's right.
Hopefully
Gafsa,
we will invite you, because this is an invitation, obviously, to explore Gafsa and its 13 delegations. It's just great. It's tremendous, and really, we are full of enthusiasm. And I think this is because of the young people we met. They are.
That's right.
Very enthusiastic. Of energy. So I think their energy is taking us to, go ahead and ahead.
Right. Well, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Ms.
Thank you so much for having us.
Jaiet, chargée de mission auprès du Ministre du Tourisme, for this wonderful talk about tourism days in Gafsa and this wonderful project. Hopefully, we will see these three circuits then come, implemented very soon. We will see lots of internal tourism as well promoted, because Tunisian people should know their country before maybe traveling abroad and knowing other destinations. We have so many beautiful things in our country that we need to uncover, that we need to make visible to us, first of all, so that we can better promote them for other people. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much again.